The foundational building block for everything is mobility, and I see so many people just focus on the mobility of their hips and their ankles in unison, but they don't know how to unlock the full potential of their lower body, which is hindering their performance and yet leading them to injury. So here we go. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about unlocking the mobility of your lower body to get you that next level performance. Let's roll. All right, guys, here we go. I'm gonna show you guys how to unlock the lower body, starting at the hip level, the knee level, and the ankle level to get you to that next level of sports performance for you. All right, guys, so a lot of times people will just stretch out their quads, right? This is great. I'm stretching out my quads, my hip flexors. That's awesome. But unfortunately, it doesn't really transfer over as far as control patterns and motor control. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in another dynamic, and I like to kill as many birds with one stone as I can. I don't wanna just spend 2 minutes stretching out my quad, then another 2 minutes stretching out my hammy. I'm gonna learn how to tie those together specifically through movement patterns that matter. So here we go. Same position. Now I'm just gonna straighten out my front leg, okay? So a couple different things going on here. My toe, I'm trying to get my foot flat to the ground. That's gonna require a lot of ankle mobility through the top side of your ankle, up into your shin, and it's gonna get you a lot of hamstring mobility on this side. So my foot is as close to flat as I can. My knee is straight. My back knee's on the ground. I'm getting a big quad stretch. So I got a quad stretch, I got a hamstring stretch, and I got ankle mobility going on right here. Now, the neuromotor control part. So yes, I'm getting mobility, but I'm also getting neuromotor control, which is my coordination in these positions of how do these muscles work together in unison with these muscles to get me function, okay? That's what this all comes back to. So I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna learn to hinge my hips first, then I start adding in my nose drop towards my knee, and you'll notice my hands stay off the ground the whole time. I don't want you here posting up. Learn how to control these positions with your muscles. Then when I come back up top, I'm hitting that big reach up top, laying my head back a little bit so my body can learn what it's doing versus my eyes fixating on something. Then I'm gonna be making my way back forward, get my hamstring stretch, learn how to coordinate my hips plus my core. I come back up, drive my hips in a little bit, get that big reach, let my head go back. Now we're getting functional movement patterns, learning how to turn on while I'm getting mobility through end ranges. So that's number one. Crank that out, guys. Again, it's gonna change your performance. The next part, let's start unlocking the ankle a little bit more through the posterior chain. So a couple different ways to do this. Again, a lot of people will just hit a calf stretch. That's awesome. But how does that correlate together with sport-specific movement patterns? So my ankles, I have to be able to accept mobility through my ankle when I go into squatting and lunging positions. But then the next move from here is always some sort of push through the ankle. So let's tie those together and get us some function here. Again, trying to get as much mobility as I can through one exercise. I'm gonna make a little bit of a slant board so you can put some weights together, put a book underneath your foot, whatever you have access to. My heel stays on the ground, my forefoot goes up on the block. Now we're gonna go down in a lunge position, but what I don't want is for you to be way back here in your lunge. Knees over toes, right? Try to start forcing that knee as far forward as you can, because that's what's gonna force ankle mobility through this position. So knee stays forward, heels on the ground. I'm now gonna drive up out of that lunge. When I get to the top of knee extension, I want you to add in the ankle push, and then we're gonna go heel back down, and I'm gonna walk down the wall as far as I can into that hamstring stretch. Now, when my foot is on the block and I'm doing a hamstring stretch, I get soleus, I get gastroc, I get hamstring. All of the posterior chain through the back of my leg is gonna increase my ankle mobility and my function through these positions. So once I go down, I'm gonna come back up. At this point, I'm gonna go back down to my lunge, but again, I'm trying to keep my knee forward as far as I can, forcing ankle mobility. Then I'm gonna drive back up. When my knee extends, my calf extends, my hips go in, then I'm gonna go walking down the wall here, get that big stretch, come back up, we're gonna repeat. So just keep working through that, guys. It's gonna work on unlocking that posterior chain, plus give you the ankle function that you need, not just stretching out your calves over and over again without some sort of function on the back end. Here we go. our final one, how do we unlock the hips through rotational positions? Again, a lot of people spend time working on sagittal plane mobility, which is great, but we also need a lot of dynamic rotation through my hips as well for any sort of sport output that we're gonna be doing. Again, you've seen this drill probably before. A lot of people will spend their time just working here and just working on their hip mobility, whether it's 90-90 drills going side to side, whatever that may be. I'm gonna show you the difference between isolating hip mobility and compensating with upper body movement patterns. A lot of people will compensate here to give them function in their hips. So I'm gonna show you how to unlock that and make sure you're not compensating. So the movement pattern in general is gonna be starting in a lunge position. I'm gonna sit down, whichever knee's on the ground, I'm gonna sit to that hip when I go to do the movement. So I'm here, I go slow, my other foot comes around the back, I tap that hip to the ground. This one is back in a hurdler's position, this one's out front, trying to stay up nice and tall with my core position. Then I'm gonna come back up, here, boom. At this point, you can switch your legs. We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. I sit back, this leg rotates, chest stays up, I tap my hip, and I'm gonna make my way right back up, okay? Now, here's how we tie it together with function. So we're gonna start in that same lunge position. This is how you know if you're compensating or not. Hold a plate or something light overhead, stay in that upright position. If your arms bend or they go out front, you've learned how to compensate instead of having mobility and function through your hips. So I'm here, again, I go back, that hip touches, my arms stay straight and they're straight up overhead. I then come back up through that position. I like to step all the way up and then I go back down, I switch my legs. Now I'm gonna go the other side. Rotate, tap, back up, out of my lunge, switch my feet, back, go down, I rotate, tap my butt, come back up, and I finish my lunge. Again, guys, those 3 different variations are gonna help you unlock everything that you need to and learn how to work together through different joints and movement patterns to give you the output of sport-specific movement that you're wanting to accomplish. Guys, if you need any more nutritional resources, sports performance resources, strength guides, core guides, click the link in the bio down below. It's gonna give you everything you need as far as guides and resources for free so you can take your performance to the next level. All right, guys, keep crushing it, keep impacting the world. Later.